Monroe scrambled out of the water and found himself in a massive city with no sign of the Swan or anyone else. Well, except someone's enormous pair of feet. These were attached to a giant who could have been a big help in catching the Swan, but unfortunately, here was the laziest giant who had ever lived, and it was his day off. Having celebrated in his usual way, he was now sleeping it off and quite unable to hear Monroe yelling. While he was looking for a way to wake the giant, Monroe noticed something even better: a floating ship.
Right, so I have to go towards the ship. Now I can shoot water. Maybe because I fell into the water and the silver paintbrush lost the black ink and absorbed water. There is an internal logic in this game. Is that the giant? Sleeping and snoring very loudly. What happens if his elbow gets wet? Nothing, he will not wake up.
Sometimes the giant wondered about where all the people in the city had gone. Mostly he worried they might come back and ask him to clean their gutters or put out their fires. But they never did, and that was why the giant, who was the laziest that had ever lived, was also the happiest.
I will try to wake him up one last time.
Before he discovered painting, the king was a potter. He loved the simplicity of a well-spun pot. So when his subjects complained that his new city was too austere and that there was nowhere to relieve themselves, the king ignored them. But when they started relieving themselves in his pots, the king hastily built them a sewer system.
Austere is a new word for you to look up. This much white hurts my eyes. Let's go up. Okay, can I undo what I just did? Apparently not. Let's leave it open then. Oh no, I just realized that I need it closed so that I can cross. So I have to use the boat as a bridge. Hopefully I won't drown this time. Swan footprints. I will go that way, but first I will go and free that balloon. So the tunnel is black. Bats, cause of deadly virus outbreaks in the real world. Looks like something is under construction. Scaffolding is another new word to learn. Broken ladder, but can I jump? No. Can I open this? No. This ladder is even higher. Let me try this. Because I don't have black ink, this place will remain clean and beautiful. So this is one of the lavatories built by the king for the people. The gate is closed. Can I open it like this? No. But what if I do this? Three balloons in the same place. Let's see if I can keep this one from flying away. Self-isolation. Best form of social distancing.
As the city filled up with people, the streets filled up with garbage. In a fury, the king painted over the roads with a canal, which swept away the trash, along with some of the slower children. But the water brought something else, a horde of vines which began covering the city.
So I need to go in. Okay, throwing water into darkness. So I have to climb up, but how? Oh, okay. The vines grow with water and I can climb the vines. The big fish. Probably searching for another frog to eat. Reminder for me that the water is still full of danger. Vegetation wins over concrete. Will vines grow on metal? Let's find out. Looks like a dolphin. Can I climb that vine like a ladder? The music is nice. Only vines will grow with water. Grass stays the same. So I have to climb up this tree. I should check out the garden first. A statue of the king. Of all his creations, his greatest was himself. So he made this statue of himself and he thought this was his greatest creation. This reminds me of the poem Ozymandias. I wonder if the creators of this game took inspiration from that poem. First the dolphin, now a rocket. Will it take off? That was abrupt. That's another new word for you.
Unlike his nicely trimmed hedge maze, the vines refused to stay where the king wanted them. He ordered his subjects to pull up every vine they saw. But the people were getting tired of the king's endless decrees, so they secretly began watering the vines whenever the king wasn't looking.
I should probably do a story explainer video on the king after I finish the full gameplay video. It will be satisfying to finally catch the swan at the end of the game. I think that should be enough for me to climb safely. I have to say that even if color is largely absent in this place, it does look nice. Seawall, the longest on our planet, is in South Korea.
The king hated the sea, and all because of his very first castle. It was the only one he had ever come close to finishing, and it took him a single day. But then the tide came in and washed it all away. He vowed that someday he'd build a kingdom that would last forever.
Well, nothing lasts forever is an idiom, and it is true. So I have to jump, but is there a shark? No, there are 3 sharks. As if drowning was not brutal enough, now I am afraid of falling into the water and getting attacked by sharks.
The vines were slowly burying the king and his city. No matter what he tried, the king couldn't stop them. So he decided to create something that could. He mixed in paint thinner, malice, and snot, and soon had the outlines of a pretty horrible creature. But it wasn't until the thing began to coil its tentacles and snap its jaws that the king understood what he had made. And for the first time in his life, the king was afraid.
Firefighters use this to put out fires. But I am using it to grow vines so that I can climb to the other side.
Even half finished, the creature had no trouble swallowing up all the king's soldiers, half his zoo, and 3 peppermint gazebos. It was only with the help of his pet hippo and the giant that the king was able to force it into the sea. And though the water remained black for years after, the creature was never seen again on shore. Within a short time, the king's subjects had all moved away, except the giant, who was quite loyal and also very lazy. Monroe waved goodbye to the giant and set sail. But no matter how fast he went, the Swan was always just out of reach. And not for the first time that day, Monroe suspected he was being led somewhere. Then they flew into a cloud, and everything went black.
I hope you are learning as well as enjoying the video. Next is part 3.